Hey everybody, it's Troy with Blackheart Tactical here. Nobody ever really cuts to the chase on these how-to videos, so here it is, how to disassemble and clean a Glock. This is my Glock 19. First thing you want to do, remove the magazine and get it out of the cleaning area. Secondly, you're going to make sure the magazine's out visually and physically check the chamber, make sure there's not a round in there. You don't want to accidentally or negligently shoot yourself. This weapon is clear, no magazine in, so we're gonna go ahead and let the slide go forward. On Glock, there is a takedown detent right above the trigger housing, right there. Now, all you have to do, pull back on the slide ever so gently, pull down on that detent, let the slide go forward. Now you'll see that this detent is not, I mean, it's not all the way to the top, it's not all the way to the bottom, it's kind of somewhere right there floating in the middle. You're going to point your weapon in a safe direction, give the trigger a little squeeze, and the slide's going to come right off. Take out your buffer spring, your recoil spring, take out your barrel, and you have a disassembled Glock. Alright, now I always start, there's 1,000 ways to skin the cat, but I always start with my frame. There's very few cleaning issues on the frame. You just want to make sure that there's no debris, dust, dirt, lint, anything built up inside the magazine well that would affect the seating and locking of a magazine in. So I always just take a little cleaning cloth, run it through, and pull it back out. Now on your locking block and trigger housing mechanisms that are metal, now I've highly polished all of my stuff, just smoother I feel, and it's cheap. You can do it at home. It's not a complicated process, but it does gather carbon as you shoot. So now I do want to say this is not a sponsored video. I'm not sponsored, represented, any way, shape, or form being compensated by saying this. I just truly feel this is a great product. Company's called Shooter Lube, and they have a two-step cleaning package. Step one's a solvent that you spray on, let it sit for a few minutes, wipe it off, and step two is the actual gun lube. But I spray the solvent on, set this aside for a few minutes, spray my barrel down a little bit with some solvent, spray the inside of my slide down with a little bit of solvent, and I always show my recoil spring a little bit of attention with some solvent as well. As that stuff's kind of, you spray the barrel down, the slide's now ready. Take a little brush, scrub all the carbon off, get some however you want to do it, cleaning patches. I use Q-tips. Q-tips are great. I shove some Q-tips down in these tight to reach spots right in front of the locking block, along the trigger housing in these gaps and holes, and I try to clear as much of that built up carbon and debris out of there that you just kind of gather from shooting, carrying, from it being, your weapon, your everyday carry. Once that's done, dry it off, any remaining solvent, set it aside. Do the same thing with the barrel. Take a jag, a bore snake. The Glock sends you a bore brush with every new weapon. So if you still have your Glock bore brush, there you go. Run it through with the little cleaning rod that they associate with it. And then take a bore snake or a cleaning patch and run it through, clean out the rest of that stuff. Barrel's done. Take you a little cleaning cloth, make sure to wipe around the recoil spring. If there's any buildup in there, you may want to hit it with a brush, like a toothbrush or something. Set it aside. Your slide, it's got your more important internal vital structures, i.e. your striker spring, all this other good stuff in there. So I spend a little more time getting, into the finer cracks and crevices. But for the most part, it's not rocket. You're not being a rocket doctor. You're just cleaning what's dirty. Once all the solvent and you're done with all that, get a cloth, wipe it dry. Then I start in reverse order. I worked from the frame to the barrel, to the slide. Now I'm working from the slide back to the frame. I take my lube and I put a bead of lube down the slide rails on both sides, and on top of this rail right here. Set that aside. I don't really oil the recoil spring. You guys might hate on me for not. You guys might, you know, whatever. It's a moving part. It's gonna wear. You know, it's not. There's not many hinges, pivots, nothing in here. It's a spring. Now I'll drop a bead of lube down the barrel, and then I'll just kind of massage it into the barrel. Give it a little rub on the feeding ramp. Set it aside. Take some lube. I'll hit the locking block rails, and then I'll put a little dibby dab right there. Once that's done, set it aside. Barrel returns to the slide. Recoil spring returns to the barrel. You want to make sure you seat that recoil spring correctly. This slides right back on, and you have a reassembled, clean weapon. Now, I have a cloth that's soaked in rim oil, and after I'm done cleaning it up, I'll give the slide a nice little rub down. You can see it's, you know, nice and shiny. I try to keep it, you know, not saturated, but definitely a little sheen on it once I get done cleaning it. It extends the life of the coating, you know. Sure, you can keep it a little dry, but you know, it's personal preference at this point. I've never had an issue, you know, with over or under lubricating a weapon. Now I've shot hundreds of thousands, maybe a million rounds between my almost 7 years active duty infantry, almost 5 years as a law enforcement officer, and as a lifetime gun supporter. I mean, there's countless rounds I've shot, and I've never been one of those guys who has had issues with, you know, repetitive weapons negligence issues, like dirty weapon, you know, failures because of dirty or unkept weapons. So take it for what it is. My way is not the only way. This is a fast, easy way to make sure that you have a clean, operable weapon. If you guys haven't checked the website out, go ahead, www.blackhearttactical.net. We're dropping some new EDC stuff soon, so keep an eye out for that. Got a new wallet on there. Gonna be doing a keychain here pretty soon. Hit me up, Facebook, Instagram, the website, emails blackheart.tactical7@gmail. If you guys need a quote for a holster, if you've got an idea for a piece of EDC gear that you're wanting to be made, shoot me an email. Worst I can say is no. You guys stay safe, stay vigilant. Blackheart out.